Hey everyone, welcome back. The WNBA MVP ladder just dropped, and basketball fans are shocked to see Caitlin Clark's name nowhere near the top. How is it possible that a rookie who's breaking records and lighting up the scoreboard isn't even in the top 5? The controversy is real, and it's got everyone talking. So, what's going on? Is the league overlooking her? Let's dive into why Caitlin Clark absolutely deserves to be in the MVP conversation despite what the ladder says. Stick around, because this one's going to blow your mind. But before further proceeding in video, please make sure to subscribe for more WNBA updates. We know it takes some of your time, and we appreciate it.
A'ja Wilson 1, Napheesa Collier 2, Sabrina Ionescu 3, Breanna Stewart 4, Alyssa Thomas 5, and honorable mentions, Caitlin Clark.
Did you catch what just happened? The WNBA MVP rankings have been released, and Caitlin Clark's name is nowhere near the top. How can that be? This rookie sensation, who's been breaking records and lighting up the scoreboard all season long, is barely getting a mention. But here's where it gets really intriguing. A'ja Wilson, the current front-runner, may soon feel the heat. When you look at the numbers, Clark's impact on her team is through the roof. Let's dive into why this oversight has basketball fans everywhere scratching their heads.
She is leading the WNBA in points generated, which means points scored and or points assisted on. She is leading the league by a significant margin, and she is doing this as a rookie with a Fever team that is not comprised of a bunch of all-stars.
Let's take a closer look at this MVP ranking because it's stirring up some serious discussion in the WNBA world. At the top, we've got A'ja Wilson firmly in first place. No surprises there, she's been a force all season long.
There's no debating it. If you even talk about MVP, you have to be like, well, of course A'ja Wilson's running away with it. Like, you cannot even have any kind of constructive conversation around MVP unless you preface it by saying, well, I already know that A'ja Wilson won. Like, that's the standard.
Next, Napheesa Collier takes the second spot, representing the Minnesota Lynx. She commands the game whenever she steps on the court, making a significant impact. A quiet powerhouse, she consistently leaves her mark.
And Napheesa can take over the game at any point in time. We've seen her do this on multiple occasions.
Sabrina Ionescu holds steady at number 3, but should she? With Breanna Stewart and Alyssa Thomas rounding out the top 5, one name is glaringly absent: Caitlin Clark. This rookie who has been setting the league on fire isn't even in the top 5. Can you believe it?
Thomas. Getting to the honorable mention, they have Caitlin Clark.
Unbelievable that she's been relegated to honorable mentions. Surely, this must be an error, right? Well, it's not. This is exactly how the MVP ladder looks right now, and here's what they had to say about Clark on their website.
Caitlin Clark. While the Fever underwent understandable woes in the first month of the season, Indiana is 14-6 over their last 20 games, including 2 massive wins coming out of the All-Star break. Clark has found a synergy with her teammates and elite comfort on the floor as a facilitator and creator. She's knocking.
Did you catch that part? Knocking on the door of the first team. Well, I don't think she's just knocking. Caitlin Clark deserves to be there already. In fact, she should be in the top 3 MVP discussion alongside A'ja Wilson and Napheesa Collier, and the stats back this up.
Get their stats. A'ja wipes the floor with both of them. The only categories that she doesn't have are assists, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. Caitlin has all of those. She is tied for steals with Napheesa.
Let's be honest, A'ja Wilson has been outstanding, no question about it. But Caitlin Clark, a rookie, has outperformed her in key areas like assists, free throw percentage, and 3-point shooting. She even holds the assist record. Clark's impact on the court is undeniable, showing she's anything but ordinary. So why is she being snubbed? It's got everyone wondering. Some say it's because she's a rookie and the league tends to favor established players. Others argue individual stats don't paint the full picture. This controversy isn't going unnoticed. People like Rachel Data are calling out the WNBA's MVP selection process, saying every time Clark steps up her game, it feels like the expectations are being raised even higher, making it harder for her to get the recognition she truly deserves.
Goalpost for Caitlin continues to move. It's like the better she does, the further they move their expectations or what she would need to do to even be, like this article says, in the top 5.
Now let's talk about rookie MVPs in the WNBA. You know how many there have been in the league's entire history. Just one. In over 25 years, only Candace Parker in 2008 has won that top spot. It's almost like there's an unwritten rule that rookies can't be the most valuable. But why? Is it because they're too inexperienced, or is it just plain veteran bias? Some argue rookies shouldn't be in the MVP conversation, claiming they need time to adjust and prove themselves.
And nobody in the league can flick logo threes as effortlessly as Caitlin can. I'm sorry. It's gotten to the point where Rookie of the Year is over. All of a sudden, Caitlin Clark is starting to push A'ja Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating.
Let's rewind to Candace Parker. Remember when she pulled off the impossible? Not only did she win Rookie of the Year, but she also snagged the MVP trophy. It was groundbreaking. Parker averaged 18.5 points per game and dominated like a seasoned pro. Now, let's compare her stats with Caitlin Clark's.
She averaged 18.5 points per game. Caitlin is currently averaging more points than that. Candace has more rebounds by a solid amount. But look at these other stats. Caitlin is averaging more assists, more steals, more three-pointers per game.
Here's where it gets wild. Clark isn't just matching Parker's rookie season, she's setting new records in some areas. Her all-around game is off the charts. She's not just scoring, she's making her entire team better. And isn't that exactly what an MVP is supposed to do?
Caitlin is right there, if not putting up better numbers than Candace did during her rookie season.
You might be thinking, okay, the stats are impressive, but being an MVP is about more than just numbers, right? And you'd be absolutely right. The MVP isn't just about who has the best stats, it's about impact, leadership, and changing the game. But that's where Caitlin Clark's story gets even more interesting. When you look at how she's transformed her team, well, the numbers only tell part of the story.
She's having impact on her team that nobody else in the league is having on her team. This is a team that went 13-27 last year, and suddenly the Indiana Fever are the hottest team by far.
So, could Clark pull off what Parker did? Could we see another rookie MVP this year? The way she's playing, it's not just possible, it's forcing us to rethink what rookies can achieve in this league. Are we ready to break down the old barriers and judge players purely by their impact, regardless of experience? Clark's season is pushing us to ask those tough questions, and the answers could change the WNBA forever. You might be wondering, can one player really transform an entire team? That's exactly what Caitlin Clark has done for the Indiana Fever. Before the All-Star break, the Fever were struggling, and fans had almost lost hope. But then something incredible happened.
The Minnesota Lynx, not as much, and the Fever had 0 players that played for Team USA and were also the worst team in the WNBA last season.
After the break, the Fever went on an absolute tear, winning 14 of their last 20 games. The same team that was at the bottom of the standings suddenly became one of the hottest squads in the league. What changed? Caitlin Clark. This rookie didn't just score points, she made everyone around her better. The Fever became more dynamic, more confident, and frankly, more fun to watch. She led the Indiana Fever to the playoffs, a feat the team hadn't achieved since 2016. Clark's impact goes far beyond just the win-loss column. She's changed the way the Fever play, elevating the entire franchise. And when you compare her accomplishments to those of teams,
player, I think it is also fair to note that the Aces have a stacked roster. There are 4 women on that team who were on Team USA.
Caitlin Clark's extraordinary rookie season is forcing us to rethink what it takes to be an MVP. Her impact on the Indiana Fever has been nothing short of transformative, taking a struggling team to the playoffs and setting new benchmarks in multiple categories. With all that she's achieved, it's hard not to wonder why isn't she higher on the MVP ladder. As the controversy heats up, one thing is clear, Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA could change the game forever. This was all for today, thanks for watching.